Did Chief Yagami escape? What a manly man, dude. What the? Wow! Are you fucking kidding me? Misa's that girl? And I think this begs a question for me. As I talked about throughout, yes, Kira is now the embodiment of evil and doing atrocious things for the sake of, air quotes, delusional and false justice. But I think a deeper level than that is I think through Kira, we get to peep into and glimpse into the dark side, the shadow type of humans, as Carl Jung talked about. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist. And yes, I know. I initially announced that I was going to stop after posting Death Note episode 10 due to my limited schedule, so I can move on to other awesome content and shows. But at last, the people have spoken, and I will continue most likely until the end of Arc 2 or episode 16, but we shall see. I hope you enjoy my detailed reaction to episode 11 and 12. Assassin Nation 0 and Assassination 0 are the sponsored tier highlights of today's video. I appreciate your support. Shout out to the best patron family. Sit back and I hope you enjoy. What kind of manicure routine does Light do? Because I thought it was like a woman's fingers because it was so trim and skinny and well maintained, I guess. But what sort of Japanese manicure routine do you think Light Yagami does? You know, because you gotta keep those hands pristine at the best condition because he's writing so many names and killing so many people every single day.
次に美空直美の件ですが、もう公開捜査に踏み切るべきでは。
やるならキラ事件とは無関係とし、写真は避け似顔絵にするべきでしょうね。
しかし行方不明になってもう4ヶ月、すでに死んでいるとしか。
もし死んでいるとしても遺体が出てこないのはおかしい。出てくればそこから何かつかめるかもしれません。
龍崎、桜テレビを。
Quick pause. I was saying in the earlier episode that there was an unknown informant provided this update and clues about Rei's fiance's suicide or death. Of course, as of right now, looks like Kira's investigation team is still unaware of the fact that she killed herself, just rather MIA, missing in action, or a missing report. One of the viewers said that in manga, it was suggested that it was actually her mother who called in. So could someone verify that? Is that true? And also, I guess the chance of L and Kira's investigation team discovering her dead body is 0 because of it was orchestrated by Death Note. Let's see what Watari is talking about.
大変なことに。
つまり私たちはキラの人質であるとともに報道陣の
Oh, the videotape, right. One of the studios broadcasted it.
当番組ディレクターに送られてきた4本のテープ。それは間違いなくキラから送られてきたものでした。
視聴率 60%。いや、70%はいくぞこりゃ。
That's nuts. 60-70% viewership is crazy.
2人の容疑者の死亡時刻が予告されていました。そして昨日、2人の容疑者がその予告通り心臓麻痺で亡くなったので。
Level 1 usage of Death Note.
確かにキラでなければできないことだ。
そしてキラは今日の午後5時59分ちょうどからこの2本目のビデオを放映するよう指示しています。
またやらせじゃないのか。まさかいくらなんでもこんな悪質なやらせは。
True.
ではご覧ください。
I noticed that the episode title for 11 is called Assault. And as you know, I usually analyze titles to begin with, but I wanted to save some, and it's actually perfect timing. So I think Assault has many different layers, but in this sense, through this TV broadcast, which is a tactic and assault psychologically, it's a vehicle and avenue for psychological assaults from Kira to the world. What do you think Kira's intention of using this broadcast, aside from, like I said, psychological assaults and emotional assaults and a petty payback using the same strategy and tactic that L used in the previous episode? But I guess my question still remains, what is his real intention? Is this some sort of a distraction? Is this Kira's attempt to get Light Yagami off the suspect list from L. And I also feel like with this tape, I think Kira has officially shifted from covert manipulation and covert attack and killing to some sort of a public PSA. I think this is, in a way, I feel like the more I talk, I'm just answering my own question. But I feel like this is Kira's first move, aside from assaulting to the public psychologically, but also it's Kira's first public announcement of his ideology. He's officially starting an ideological warfare onto L and everything else. But more importantly, to the innocent public. And I can't even imagine the trauma that's going to ripple through for how long for whoever's watching this tape. Unbelievable starts episode 11. Wow. But same font as the Linda Taylor, if I'm not mistaken.
4月18日午後5時59分ちょうどに流されれば今は5時59分47チャンネルを太陽テレビに変えてください。メインキャスターの日比間和彦氏が6時ちょうどに心臓麻痺で死にます。
おい変えて
What the?
まさかなんて
Oh my gosh.
ターゲットは NHN テレビに生出
He's targeting public figures.
熊泉誠司氏
龍崎
チャンネル24に
He's killing his critics, aside from convicted felons and criminals. Kira is now killing and prosecuting publicly his critics.
いたなこの放送やめさせないとまずいことになる
桜テレビへ電話を
ダメだ局内の知り合いの携帯は電源が入っていない。
局のどこにかけても通話中
さ
浮田さん俺が直接局に行ってやめさせてやる
皆さんよく聞いてください。私は罪のない人を殺したくありません。
But he did.
悪を憎み正義を愛します。
Right.
警察も私の敵ではなく味方だと考えています。皆さんがその気になれば簡単にできること。私を捕まえようとしなければ罪のない人間は死にません。メディアに載せ公にしたりしなければ殺したりはしません。そして少しの間待ってください。誰もが認める世界になります。私がこの汚れた世界、心の優しい人間を主とした新しい世界に変えてみせます。想像してください。世界の警察と私が作る。
幸子
あなた体に触ります。
Yes.
休んでください。
私はキラ事件の捜査本部長だ。
Quick pause. So shout out to Chief Yagami's wife for attempting to shut down the TV. Because remember, like what I said, the amount of unfathomable, acute, and chronic physical, emotional, and psychological stress Chief Yagami is under that caused his heart attack and his physical ailments is caused by the very itself Kira and the stress, as I talked about. So shout out to her effort for trying to shut the TV down. But also, Chief Yagami did have a point. He is the head of Kira's investigation team. So he has a duty to be informed about what is going on. So neither here or there, but again, I do appreciate her efforts, at least for shutting down that TV for 3 seconds. And I know for a matter of fact that the news studio director instructed all their staff to turn off all their cell phones because he knows the police will try to intervene and shut down this broadcast. But again, if the broadcast is shut down, then yes, the director might die based on the letter initially sent out by Kira, but more importantly, it's going to intervene with their sensationalistic profit and making the highest peak viewership the channel probably has ever received. So again, it comes down to profit. And I think this begs a question for me. As I talked about throughout, yes, Kira is now the embodiment of evil and doing atrocious things for the sake of, air quotes, delusional and false justice. But I think a deeper level than that is I think through Kira, we get to peep into and glimpse into the dark side, the shadow type of humans, as Carl Jung talked about. It's allowing the viewers to view both the light side, but also the dark side of humanity. Very evocative and provocative. Interesting. See? They locked. I knew it. They can't say no to the cops. Wait, is Light Yagami watching somewhere?
相沢さん。
ご覧ください。誰かが倒れています。これは今の桜テレビ前の映像です。
浮田さん。
Dude. Alright guys, yes, I'm glad I kept recording because episode 11 is nuts. I'm pretty sure Kira is camping somewhere like Call of Duty and watching everyone who's trying to enter and stop this broadcast from happening. And the first detective from Kira's investigation team unfortunately fell to his prey. Because remember, I think as I initially thought, this is his first step of making his ideology be known to the world. The beginning of an ideological warfare, but also the rise of the supernatural and amoral, or immoral rather, dictatorship. Please be patient. The police is not my enemy. I want to create a world where there's only good people, which is ludicrous by the way, because light and shadow and light and dark are two sides of the same coin. Euphoria is not possible because we need both in a very philosophical way. But he's like, please be patient. I got this. Let me be God. I will create a better world and get rid of this rotten nature. But if you oppose me, if you're against me, I will kill you. Because how dare you, how dare anyone challenge the authority of me, a God? Unfreaking believable.
くそー。キラか。
Wild, dude.
相沢さん、どこへ行く気
The
ですか
young detective.
浮田のところに決まってるだろう。
ダメです。冷静になってください。
ここで黙ってテレビを見てろっていうのか。
Well, you're gonna die, bro.
キラは名前がわからなければ殺せないはずだ。なのになぜあんなことに。
That's a great question, actually.
無駄だった。まさか我々の名前はすでにキラにバレているのでは。
あるいはそうかもしれません。しかしそれならキラは操作する人間を全員殺してから動く方が楽なはず。私の推理では顔と名前が必要でしたが、これを見ている限り顔だけでも殺せる可能性もゼロではないとしか。
Lights watching.
キラはあのテレビ局内、
Yep.
もしくは局に入るものを監視できるところにいるということで、
キラがあの周辺にいると思うならなおさら行くべきじゃないのか。
監視カメラを設置
You're gonna be sniped, bro. You never play Call of Duty? Come on, man.
出ていけば殺されるだけです。
あんただってキラの逮捕に命かけてんだろう。
命をかけることと命をやすやす奪われる可能性のあることをするのは
Very, very different.
何。
Bro, think. L is in pain too. Oh. L is pissed.
これでもし相沢さんの命まで奪われてしまったら
This is mad stressful. So I appreciate the camera zooming in to showcase the body language and the tremoring, this massive suppression of anger and whatever other plethora of emotions that's coming for L. Because remember, as I analyze, L might be on the spectrum, but that doesn't mean he's without emotions. He's still a human being. He still tries his best to empathize. And these are the colleagues who voluntarily were willing to forfeit their lives for the same mission to put Kira to justice. But I think that scene of L stopping other detectives from following the same doomed fate talks about an idea called stress testing or limit testing. Definition right here. This terminology has many different names. Like I said, stress testing, limit testing, pressure testing. It's a common strategy that's utilized in engineering. But in this sense, I think L is also using this extremely high stress, unbelievably acute stress scenario to pressure test the psychological readiness and responses by his team members. We need to pause before having a knee-jerk reaction, because knee-jerk reaction in this case is literally life and death. So let's regroup, recalibrate, and come up with a better plan in response to this broadcast at hand, versus just marching in impulsively and getting killed yet again. But my question is also the same. How did Kira kill that detective? He doesn't have the Shimigami eyes, and he cannot just kill using face alone. He does need a name, as we know. So how was he able to gain access to these secretive names? because all the detectives from Kira's team have been using fake aliases. So I wonder how was Kira able to do that? Interesting.
協力し
Unbelievable
新しい世界
episode.
を作っていくことにイエスかノーか4日後の午後6時のニュースで発表してください。イエスの場合とノーの場合に異なるビデオを用意してあります。
Oh? Did Chief Yagami escape? What a manly man, dude. What the? Wow!
おい、どういうつもりだ。
Bro, he's a chief.
キラのビデオを流してるスタジオ。
Nice, he's covering his face.
次です。桜テレビ
Wow.
あれなら姿を見られずに局内に入れます。
しかし、一体誰が。
Chief Yagami.
しろ。なんだ。すぐにキラのテープを止めるんだ。
ちょっと待ってくださいよ、刑事さん。これやめちゃうと私たちキラに殺されちゃうんですから。
True.
少なくとも今死ぬことは免れるぞ。
何考えてんだあんた。正気か。
I got goosebumps. Yo, Chief Yagami, I did not see that coming whatsoever. I mean, again, this is the downside of Chief Yagami having access to the news. Knowing him, knowing the amount of stress he's already been under, knowing what is going on outside of the hospital where he's been in a bed rest, I guess there's no way in hell he was going to just stop and watching this from happening. Can you imagine the level of powerlessness and helplessness Chief Yagami would feel if he were just stuck in a hospital bed? I guess it was inevitable that he was going to be forced to spring into action. So I respect his decision. At the same time, it's low-key toxic because the dude literally just barely recovered from a heart attack because of the amount of stress. And we see that stress in conflict with that conviction, which is the glare in his eyes when he had the pistol against the director of the studio. So I respect Chief Yagami, but also as a clinician working in a clinic and healthcare setting, I'm also extremely fearful and concerned for Chief Yagami's mental health and psychological health. Can you imagine the anger and the rage? One of his beloved detectives died and was killed. So of course he's going to charge in. But I respect his ability while feeling emotional, still being tactical and strategic by covering his face with a hoodie and using a bus, because in that case, Kira will not be able to see through the bus, right? Unless Kira has access to black ops, whatever see-through secret goggles, right? Which obviously he doesn't. Last thing I would say is I think that's also a beautiful demonstration of this dichotomy. True moral justice demonstrated by Chief Yagami, this sacrificial justice, sacrificing himself for the sake of justice and law, and Kira, his cowardly, his supernatural and immoral, twisted sense of justice. And the biggest irony of them all is this is a father and son dynamic. Father represents true justice, and son represents false and twisted justice. So interesting.
キラをスターか何かのように報道してきた結果だ。自業自得だと思わないか。コピーしたテープも全部出すんだ。
だから拳銃振り回すのやめてくれ。あんた目がいっちゃってるよ。
He does. Chief Yagami is not messing around at all.
テレビ前に到着しました。
我々だけじゃない。まだ警察の中にも立ち上がる者はいるんだ。
相沢さん、北村次長の携帯番号を知ってましたよね。
The tension rises.
相沢、私には電話するなと。
L です。北村次長にお願いがあります。この報道を見て、事故の正義感で動く警察関係者が出てきます。上に統制を取っていただかないと惨事になりかねません。
しかし私たちはこの事件には。
Oh.
駆けつけた警官2人が倒れました。
How is Kira doing this? How is Kira killing them without their names? I don't understand.
L、どう指揮を取るべきかアドバイスをくれ。
My quick guess is, does Kira have access to the entire database and entire list of every police officer in this region area. So he's literally just cross-referencing, going by their faces. Because if he has, he does have access to the police database by hacking into his dad's computer. But the only logical way I can think about without Kira obtaining Shinigami's eyes, unless he made a deal that we don't know about, is that he's probably literally going one by one by cross-referencing the faces that he sees using his binoculars, and also by writing their names down. So that's my guess. But that's so tedious and cumbersome. But I guess Kira is extremely dedicated. Watari.
折り返しかけて電話を私に。私です。八神さん。
The urgency in their voices.
そうだ。我慢できなかった。テープはすべて押収した。そっちへ持っていく。
体の方は大丈夫なんですか？
Not good. You're not more than fine, but
初めてだ。
I mean,
そんなことよりどうすればいい？正面は危険だと思うが、あの車なら大丈夫だろうか。
ちょっと待ってください。北村次長、突っ込んだのは八神局長でした。そちらの準備は？
言われた通りにした。
八神さん。
very dramatic cell phone switch scenes. Like the potatoes scene. I don't know if anyone thought about how is Chief Yagami able to storm through the building, drive, threaten the studio director and all that. It's probably through adrenaline, a massive dump of adrenaline. Definition right here. We all have heard stories of mothers being able to lift up like thousands of pounds of cars to rescue their infant babies, and seemingly superhuman feats done by people. It's the ability for our biological systems, which is optimized for survival. Our biological systems dump a massive amount of adrenaline, especially doing something high stake, either for Chief Yagami, escaping from the hospital, storming into the studio building, or for mothers to lift their cars and save their babies. But here's the dark side. After a massive adrenaline dump, our biological systems experiences a massive dip and crash. Every single one of us has a finite amount of reservoir. That could be a dopamine reservoir, which is also finite day to day, which is a reason why substance use and abuse can be addicting and creates a massive dopamine spike, and we crash into the negatives. Or in this case, adrenaline crash also into the negatives. So in the extreme cases of aforementioned mothers saving their children, many of them actually experience serious acute and in often cases chronic health implications from extreme usages and borrowing from air quotes future adrenaline reservoir. Same thing for dopamine as well. So in this case, I'm sure that, I don't know if the show is going to talk about it since this isn't a medical documentary by any means, but from my knowledge, Chief Yagami will invariably experience serious physical downside and trade-offs from borrowing and dipping into his reservoir of adrenaline. Everything has a cost. And for him to going from a heart attack recovery to this heroic scene, yes, it's amazing. But there is going to be a serious dark side and hidden costs and trade-offs to his actions. Please pray for Chief Yagami. Man. L is covering him. Nice. 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 Oh, team effort. Kira escaped. Wow, goosebumps. Wow. Full body goosebumps. He's risking his life. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know if you can see. Can you see my goosebumps? Oh my gosh. This reminds me that under every tyranny, there will always be a group of people who will rise up to the challenge and revolt and cause a revolution. Nelson Mandela against the apartheid of South Africa and so on. Countless examples. MLK, right, for civil rights movements and so on and so forth. This is amazing because, like I said, under every tyranny, because yes, Kira has become a supernatural, immoral tyranny based on his twisted and grandiose moral perspective. And under Kira's tyranny, we're seeing immediate pushback and revolution led by the police departments. They will not submit to Kira's tyranny, never. To a point that even this news anchor voluntarily disclosed his name, showing that he's not afraid of public prosecution. He's not afraid of being killed in public. He will fight back. He will voice back. When a country is under attack or under assault, which is the title of this episode, people will fight back. I think that might be one of my favorite scenes in the series so far, and it showcases the beautiful humanity. Kira is this vessel that spotlights both the dark side of the humanity, but also the light side, the beauty of humanity. And in the second half of episode 11, we're seeing the beauty, people galvanizing as one to fight back against Kira's oppression. And right before I paused, I see that Chief Yagami is being carried by Watari, which is exactly what I'm saying. He's now crashing with his adrenaline as the dump is coming to an end, and he's experienced the physical side effects immediately after he was thankfully able to drive back to the headquarters. Unfreaking believable, dude.
勝手な真似をしてすまなかった。感情的になりすぎたようだ。
いえ、
これにキラが送ってきた封筒テープ全部入っている。少し休ませてくれ。
八神さん、無駄にはしません。
Oh, see, Chief Yagami is crashing hard, dude. He might have irreversible health outcome from this. But shout out to you, Chief.
相沢さん、これの鑑識お願いできますか？
鑑識には顔が利く。徹底的に調べさせます。
私はコピーテープの方で内容を確認します。
Another sidebar I just want to quickly talk about is the inability for Kira's detective or detection teams to collectively, individually grieve for the death of that first young detective. There's so much acute stress, so much limitations of time, scarcity of resources and pressures and all that. They don't have time to grieve. They don't have time to honor their sadness and grieving process for the fallen colleague. They all, I can't even imagine how close they are. I don't even know how many years they worked together, but remember, Kira's detection team of 5 went through 2 vetting process, and they voluntarily stayed together to put Kira to justice. So I can't even imagine the amount of grief, sadness, anger, rage, and other complexitive emotions L, Chief Yagami, and everyone else is experiencing. But the show is not showing their grieving process. It's because they don't have the time, the luxury of time to grieve. They have to focus on the task at hand. Unbelievably sad and very, very powerful. I'm getting stressed. Oh boy.
警察がキラの協力にイエスと答えたら、3のビデ
Kira pre-plans everything.
簡単に言うと、犯罪者をより多く報道すること。特に軽犯罪でも人を傷つけたものを。
Look at how much skinnier and more fragile Chief Yagami looks through that. Like literally his face, he's more chiseled, more cheekbones. And look at his fatigue, right? It's unbelievable.
虐待はできる限り取り上げろということです。そして裁くかどうか決めるのはキラ。
Tyranny. This episode should have been called Tyranny.
ルがテレビに出演し、キラに協力すると発表しろと言っています。幹部と共に私の顔をさらさせ、警察に妙な動きが出たら、言い方が違うだけでほとんど同じです。八神さん、返事は当然ノーでしょうし。
Of course.
答えがノーということを大変残念に思います。警察はあくまで私と戦うという返事ですから、まず日本警察庁長官の命、もしくは捜査の指揮を執っているとされるLなる人物の命を取ります。長官か L か。平和な世界への協力をしなかった犠牲としてどちらを差し出すか。
But Kira can't kill L because of all the safety net and insurance we talked about in episode 9 and 10. What? What? There's a second Kira and second Shimigami in this realm? What in the heck? Fake Kira. One moment, please. I guess that answers all of our question that Kira wasn't going through this cumbersome process of cross-referencing every single face and the names of police officer, because I was like, it's literally tedious. So how was Kira able to kill off police officers in such a prompt and immediate manner? But now with this grand reveal, there's a second Kira, there's a second Shimigami, and there's a second Death Note. Even Kira's responses to fake Kira, despite appreciating this fake Kira's help, what did he say? He's like, I can't believe a god of death is on my side, but this time it's Shimigami. But I cannot forgive the fake Kira for tainting and dragging my name to the dirt. His narcissism and grandiosity shows up even in this advantageous scenario with the help of fake Kira. He still makes a comment.
龍崎、思っていた通りだ。各国首脳が勝手に話し合い、本物の L をテレビに出演させろと言ってきた。
The pressure is on. Now it's politics.
正しい選択です。私も不愉快ですから。キラに便乗した者に殺されるのは。
どういう意味だ、龍崎。
このキラはキラの偽物の可能性が高い。いや、第二のキラというべきでしょう。
第二のキラ。
L, are you watching again? How did you know?
話してくれないか。
Yeah, please explain. What is going on?
自分がキラだとテレビ局員に信じさせるためにビデオで予告そうでしか報道されていなかった。
第二のキラという可能性は一体どのくらい？
Don't tell me 5% again. Oh, more than 70%. Wow.
ない。キラらしくない。
らしくない。
今までキラは追う者は別として罪のない者の犠牲は避けていた。僕を願ってもよろしいでしょうか。
それは息子の疑いは。
He still is.
いえ。
So honest.
息子が協力するといえば止める理由はない。
ありがとうございます。ただし今回のキラが偽物かもしれないということは伏せておいてください。あくまでもキラを追っているという形でお願いします。
But bro, of course, Light Yagami already knows. Dude, L, your logical ability, your reasoning ability, and your deduction skills are unmatched. Kudos, dude. I'm speechless. Unbelievable. But going back to L's high probabilistic deduction approaches versus being a pure imperialist based on hard evidence, as I talked about, think about the two hallmarks of evidence he highlighted. First, it has to be a second Kira who sent in the tapes. I guess L was truly tape surveilling me because he literally answered my question straight on. Now it actually makes sense that this was the fake Kira because, in a way, the fake Kira killed the announcers is because they were mocking probably his idealized idol, which is a real Kira. So the fake Kira was killing the announcers in defense of real Kira. Because how dare you mock and attack and criticize the person, the idol I put and worship on the pedestal. Makes sense. So I am also convinced that this is a fake Kira, in addition to, of course, Light Yagami's own admission momentarily ago. But can we all just do a golf clap to applaud L's exceptional, unmatched reasoning and detective abilities. Unfreaking believable. So now I guess L is going to work with Light Yagami, the real Kira, to catch fake Kira. My head hurts, dude. Oh, what is going on, man? This show's getting too much. Misa? The Shinigami. This fake Kira is a girl? Interesting outfit. Give like death metal, rock and roll vibe. The fake / second Kira A has Shinigami eyes as confirmed. Of course, the show's been hinting at it. But 2, her name is Misa. I did not see that coming at all. Wow. It's very, very clear that Misa worships Kira, and she did this whole taping situations and showmanship to gain and get Kira's attention. She wants to meet him and wants to know the type of person other Kira is. But how does this Kira know that the real Kira doesn't have Shinigami eyes? Because of how indirect the killing is? Does new Shinigami know about Yoke, the other Shinigami? Can Shinigamis in this realm of, like on this human realm, sense or detect each other's presence? Is there like an invisible radar they have, like Shinigami radar, to show their own kind and their whereabouts? But yeah, how did Misa know that actual Kira didn't have Shinigami eyes? But what a freaking plot twist. And I see why, most reactors react to 2 episodes in one video starting the second arc, because this is an unbelievable cliffhanger, and I'm very excited to continue episode 12 right now. Well, I'm very excited to psychoanalyze and profile Misa. All right, this episode is called Love. Makes sense. Misa worships Kira and probably has a crush on him. Wait, so I know L invited Kira to the task force, or Light Yagami, the false identity of Kira, because as I talked about, Kira is now the primary identity and Light Yagami is a secondary identity. I didn't know that he was being invited to the task force headquarters. That means he now has access to the names and faces of Kira's investigation team, or will they be using fake aliases? Interesting. How are they gonna safeguard that? Fake. Lights, you're so fake, dude. Fake names. He knows it's all their fake names.
今までのキラに関する捜査資料とこのテレビ局に送られてきた一般には未公開のビデオを見てください。すべての資料等の持ち出しやメモを取ることは禁止です。わかった。それでは始めます。
Dude, Light's pretty OP, man. As a college freshman being invited to Kira's investigation team, invited by the very L himself. Pretty freaking remarkable, honestly. Wow. I wonder how his dad is feeling all this.
のキラの可能性は伏せ、八神ライト君に捜査協力してもらうという方向で行きます。
それでは一緒に捜査しにくいのでは？
彼にこのビデオを一本見てもらい感想を聞くまでです。ライト君の推理力には素晴らしいものがあります。
True. It is remarkable.
2のキラだという推理をしてく。
I mean, he already knows.
今まで私たちが想定してきたキラは殺人に顔と名前が必要でした。しかしあの時
Mr. Ukita, RIP, bro. Man.
すれば殺せるような言い方をしていることから、第二のキラーは顔だけで殺せるということになります。
Shinigami eyes.
ライト君に捜査状況とビデオを見てもらい、第二のキラの可能性があると推理したら、ライト君の疑いはほぼ晴れるということです。エルは絶対殺したいと思っているはずです。
ではもし息子が第二のキラの推理をしなければ疑いが深まるというのか。
その場合は 5% 未満のままですし、そのままこちらから
There's still probability.
さしていると打ち明けて協力してもらいます。
I want to talk about again L's methodical and meticulous approach to every single tactics he's utilizing. Before he actually invited Light Yagami to the task force headquarters, he already met with Chief Yagami and the entire Kira's detection team. So they already carefully orchestrated and pre-planned everything out. If and then. If this, then that. If he deduces that there is a second Kira, then it's under 5% probability and we will continue to work with him and have him assist us. But if he doesn't deduce that there is a second Kira, because remember, through that paper exchange in the earlier episode with the letters and envelopes, L already confirms Lai Yagami's exceptional reasoning and puzzle solving ability. So L knows for a fact that Lai Yagami has the reasoning ability and the skill sets to deduce there is a second Kira. So if Lai Yagami doesn't say that and doesn't deduce a second Kira, that means Lai Yagami is lying and he is indeed actual Kira. So it's a win-win-win scenario for L. But nonetheless, L is still putting his own life at stake. This is a massive gamble regardless of the cost and benefit analysis that L has been doing. Because this is such a high-stake situation, fighting against not one, but two supernatural criminals. He has to put his life on the line. So yes, I respect his cost and benefit analysis and methodical approach throughout. At the same time, I seriously respect L's audacity and conviction to truly put his life at stake and walking the walk and talking the talk. Because just like that young detective who died and everyone else, like Mr. Aizawa, who was willing to run to the rescue and risk being killed again, he's also demonstrating his equally sacrificial willingness and commitment to fight Kira. Amazing.
以上のことから私が本物のキラだということが分かったと思います。否定した
このビデオを見て出来の悪さに吐き気がするのは
See, narcissism and grandiosity showing yet again.
このビデオに関しての説明を誰もしてこない。しては下手なことは何も言わないことだ。
This is again artificial, real pressure cooker to, I guess, putting Lai Yagami under the surveillance of L with everything they talked about the night prior. So this is another example of behavior analysis units' common tactics to create this controlled cognitive pressure cooking environment to test and witness the changes in micro expressions. So this is the same thing that's happening again. But this time, it's not just L. It's actually also Chief Yagami and fellow investigators. And Lai Yagami is once again the test and the subject. And again, Lai Yagami is exceptionally smart. And he knows immediately that something's sus. Something's fishy. Why is nobody telling me any explanation? And again, I love the writer's way of using Lai Yagami's internal monologue to reveal his own psyche and his own thought process. Because just as L is methodical and meticulous, so is Light Yagami. So now he's also counteracting against this examination scene where he's pre-planning and being highly calculative of everything he's saying. Which is why he said, I won't say anything careless about the video. So he's also going to be very meticulous against the meticulation of L.
手をけばエルは死ぬんだ。どうですか、ライト君。何かわかりますか？
Look at L's fake innocent question. Look at that. It's like Austin Power.
Here
we go. Here we go.
どういうことだライト。
今までのキラじゃない可能性が高い。
Here we go. Chess match continues. Man.
たりはしない。キラの殺人に顔と名前が必要とするなら、テレビ局に偶然駆けつけた刑事や警官を殺せたのもおかしいじゃないか。
同じだ。L、いや、龍崎の推理と全く同じ。
よくやったライト。疑いは晴れたは
Nope.
ずだ。
Still less than 5%.
私たちも第二のキラだと見ています。やはり分かっていたのか、龍が。分かっていて僕を試したのか。試したのではありません。私一人が第二のキラ説を考えても説得力がない。ライト君が同じ推理をしたことでより有力な説となります。ライト君は本当に力になる。助かります。決まりですね。まず第二のキラを止めなければなりません。僕はない。本物のキラには従うかもしれません。こちらで本物のメッセージを偽造すれば止められる可能性は高い。さすがだな龍崎。僕もそれが。
Wow.
ライト君に本物のキラを演じてほしいんです。僕が
No, this is crazy.
夜のニュースで流せるようキラからの呼びかけの原稿を作ってもらえますか。
Yoke is so amused. Wow. Oh my gosh. Going back to L's methodical planning, there is another hidden agenda. But this time, this is a psychological assault from L to the real Kira, Light Yagami. He's going to have Light Yagami play the role of real Kira as this hidden real Kira. The mind fuckery, dude. My head hurts. Oh my gosh. This is the ultimate showmanship and the masterful display of microscopic observation tactic by L. Same tactic that I talked about when the detectives were watching Light Yagami, watching the first videotape. The same tactic to observe any change in Light Yagami's micro expressions. It's the same tactic, but this works every single time. And Kira is like, damn you, because he knew this was exactly the plan of L all along. So in a sense, L sacrificed 80% to gain 100% by putting and forcing Kira to play the role of real Kira by sacrificing the whereabouts and the secrecy behind the task force headquarters. Unfreaking believable, dude.
すごくよくできていますが。死にます。あ、いや、キラになりきってみたら今のその部分は適当に直してくれ。
Wow.
原さん、健康できました。お願いします。
Did you see that seemingly innocent peaches and rainbows dandy banter? Haha, it's just a joke. You can remove it if you want. But Elle's like, bruh, if you say that, I'm gonna die. Because obviously the second Kira worships you and she will kill me. To that, like, it's like, just JK. Because we all know anytime anyone that says just kidding or JK, there is 50% of truth. Seriously, think back to all the times you said just kidding, JK. When your friend says JK, there's 50% of real feelings there. I promise you. So what a clapback from Kira back to L. So I wonder if L is going to overthinking and overanalyze that as I always do, or if he's going to trust what Light Yagami said. Because I guess logically, in theory, real Kira could demand the fake Kira to kill L. So, yeah, pretty good.
大変なことになりました。先日、桜テレビにビデオを送り、放映させたキラに対して。
Real Kira responded. Dude, poor public, man. Mass hysteria doesn't end. So freaking perplexing for everyone right now. I'm glad I don't live in this world. It's so stressful. Misa's kind of naive. She's naivete all over. Interesting goth theme. Very gothic.
私の意志と反する。もし私を名乗った者が私に共感し、協力する気持ちがあるならば、勝手な行動は。
Okay. Kira is a little bit more principled than Misa.
すぐキラに返事出すのに決まってるじゃない。
龍崎第2のキラから返事です。
That was fast.
封筒ごとそちらへ持っていきますが。
キラさん、お返事ありがとうございます。
Mr. Kira, do you see that respect? That honorific?
キラの言う通りにしますか。使えるんだか使えないんだか。本当にキラの気持ちがわかるやつなら L のテレビ出演だけは強行して L を殺す。こんなのに引っかかるな。クソ。
私はキラさんに会いたい。キラさんは目を持ってないと思いますが、私はキラさんを殺したりはしません。安心してください。
バカかこいつ。世間に流れるビデオに死神の目のこと。
今目を持ってないって言ってる。さあ。
Yo! Yo! Yo!
見てください。
Yo!
の死神を見せ合えば確認できます。
死神？
ダメだこいつ。早くなんとかしないと。
なんだ？
死神。メロとでも言うのか。
I forgot to close my jaw. This is too much, guys. I don't know if I can do this. It's too much. My head hurts. Where do I begin? All right, here we go. Let me keep this brief because this is too much. What the freak? So first of all, I love the writers are once again humanizing L. This is the first and the only time we saw L completely lose his composure. He literally lost it. He literally had his hands up and literally fell from his seat, like the saying. He was awestruck and in absolute disbelief. That was a beautiful humanization of L. He's a human and he couldn't believe at the confirmation of the existence of Shinigamis, which the real Kira been hinting at through the envelopes. Did you know that Shinigamis love apples? He thought that was a mockery and a joke. But this time he confirmed through the I reference and Shinigami reference straight up. Unfreaking believable. And I don't blame Kira for saying that this guy's no use. I need to stop him. Although it's Misa, the female. I cannot wait to Misa reveal more clinical data for me because I already have a hypothesis of her diagnosis and her psychological profiling. Here's what we gathered so far. So far, Misa is not the smartest apple, pun intended. She's way more impulsive. She's way more careless. She's not as methodical or meticulous. She recklessly disclosed the identity and the existence of Shinigamis, which is a massive no-no and a taboo. And second, the eyes, to a point that both Yagami was shocked and disbelief and angered by such a naive mistake, but also L was also shocked and in disbelief. So it sounds like Misa is such a interesting complement to this dual player chess match dynamic because so far I initially, and I'm sure Kira initially thought that second Kira is all assets, no downside to Yagami. But lo and behold, Misa is a risk factor because she's way too impulsive. She to me seems like someone's extremely emotion driven. She's very emotional. She's led by her emotions first. Whatever she feels, she does. So in a weird way, I'm seeing this dichotomy of real Kira, Yagami, and second Kira, Misa. I feel like it's like some sort of a weird duality. Real Kira is absence of emotions, very cold-hearted, and pure logic and rationality. Whereas the second Kira, Misa, is no logic, no rationality, all emotions and all heart. In a weird way, they kind of complement each other, but it's such a duality of real Kira is logic and fake Kira is all emotions. Fascinating.
Shinigami.
Oh, poor L, dude. His psyche.
言うのか。
まさか。
そうだよ龍崎。
死神が存在するなんてありえない。
キラも刑務所内の犯罪者に死神が存在するような文章を書く。
Unbelievable。
もう今までのキラと考えるべきでは。同じ人物だから同じ言葉を。
それはないよ父さん。これが今までのキラなら僕たちの作ったビデオに対して返事をするはずがない。押すのをやめさせるはずもない。
本物と第二のキラ。
L is so stressed. Oh my gosh.
捜査のかく乱。
That's why he's pinching his right here. He's so stressed.
ありえません。ライト君の言う通り、キラが繋がっているのなら私を殺すことを中止するとは思えません。第二のキラはキラの思想とは関係なく自分の思いで動いています。
My head hurts.
キラに会いたいという思いです。
お互いの死神を見せ合えば確認できますというのは、殺しの力を見せ合い確認すると考えればいい。
My heart's pounding. True. Great reasoning. Another characteristic and personality trait I gauged from Misa, based on what they're saying, is attention seeking. It's clear that Misa enjoys attention seeking behaviors, and ultimately she wanted to derive attention and obtain attention from the real Kira, which is her idol and someone she puts on the idealized pedestal. So another trait I'm gathering before I do a psychological profiling and DSM-5 diagnosis for Misa, since I'm sure there's a lot there. But the last thing I'll say is L's psychological resilience and adaptability to bounce back from that ontological shock and that disbelief. He recovered literally and physically and emotionally quite quickly. If it were me, I would still be in disbelief and I'll probably have to just call it a wrap. Bye-bye, the end. But of course, there's a job to do and the stakes are getting higher and higher. And L ultimately decided to just leave it rest and for real Kira and second Kira to kind of duke it out. But yeah, I'm very, very curious and excited to see the rest of this episode 12 and how Misa's personality, her psyche, and her characteristics, impulsivity, recklessness, attention seeking, some of the traits I analyze, add on to this interesting trio dynamic. Very, very interesting. And I wonder what's the difference between Misa Shinigami and Yoke. Because as we know, Yoke is purely driven by boredom. So I wonder what drives Misa's Shinigami. Very, very interesting.
いいね。そうそうそうそう。いいよ、いいよ、いいよ、ミサちゃん。
Psycho.
モデルの仕事も体力勝負なんだよね。ねえレム。
Rem.
一つ聞いていい？
なんだ？
Oh, it sounds like a female?
ないとダメ。人間にデスノートを持たせて遊ぶには2冊必要。キラにノートを持たせたリュウクは死神大王を騙して2冊目を手に入れた。
They know about Yoke.
そう、私は死神界でも数少ない死神を殺す方法を知っている死神だから。
What?
手をこ
う。What?
じゃあ死神殺してノート奪ってそれをミサにくれたんだ。
殺したわけではない。たまたま死ぬ死神がいて、そこに私が居合わせ。
Shinigamis do die.
死神殺す方法教えてよ。
誰にも言うなよ。死神を殺す方法は人間に恋させることだ。
What?
素敵な殺し方。
What? A few questions. Is Rem, she sounds like a female, and I guess as some viewers suggested that there are gender differences for Shinigamis, and they're actually not gender neutral. Kind of surprising since they're gods. Second, can Shinigamis lie? Or are Shinigamis not capable of lying and deception? Because what are the odds of Rem sharing a false lie to Misa? Or can Shinigamis not lie? Because so far, based on the last 12 episodes, Yoke hasn't lied once. He's been purely driven by boredom, and he's pretty honest. So through that sequence of logic, I'm guessing that Rem is also honest. Third, what a paradoxical way of killing a fellow god of death, Shinigami. By Shinigamis falling in love with humans, they can be killed. And of course, we're about to witness the reveal from Rem through this backstory of how that actually happens. And I'm also interested to see the differences between Yoke and Rem. Yoke is very unbiased. He does what he wants based on boredom and amusement, full stop. But here, it seems like Rem is more biased and aligns more with Misa. She voluntarily discloses very crucial information. She answers Misa's questions very honestly, wholeheartedly, under the premise that Shinigamis cannot lie, or they do not lie. Because when Light Yagami asked questions to Yoke in the past, Yoke doesn't always answer. But here it seems like Rem answers whatever Misa wants to know. Does Rem also love Misa? Is that why she is... Again, I don't know Rem's gender, but she sounds like a female. But yeah, does Rem love Misa? Is that why they're voluntarily disclosing and answering Misa's questions openly? Very interesting. Interesting title. And what a plot twist. I did not expect this episode or episode 11 to go. What a, shocker. Jealous. Stalking syndrome? Alright. Not creepy at all.
今日だね、あの子の寿命。
元気そうなのに、なんで今日なんだろう。
Oh, because they know.
なんで
Reality TV show for Shinigamis. One more question. We know that there is the Shinigami King, the boss, the ruler of the Shinigami realm. So, okay, we get that. But another question is, who determines the lifespan and the death of humans? Is it the Shinigami King? Or is there another god of life who determines lifespan? Or is it the Shinigami King? Who determines, who has this deterministic ruling of humans' lifespan in the show? I'm curious.
気になって一緒に眺めることにした。その子は夜道を一人で歩いていた。
Red hat. Color red is a constant theme in the show. Interesting. She was murdered.
現れ、娘に告白。
Love, meaning number 4 for the title.
いつも君を見て守りたいんだ君を。
見ず知らずの男。
A true stalker.
君を殺して僕も死ぬ。
おい、やめないか。ジェラスは死神としてやってはならないことをした。
Jetta stopped the attack and killed, and did he have to give up his life? What? Is that the cost for Shinigami to use Death Notes?
ジェラスはその娘を助けるためにノート。
Wow, the forbidden fruit, the forbidden love.
死神は人間の寿命を短くする。
Jetta's died? What a humane and adorable Shinigami Jerus is.
その
He's kind of cute.
ジェラスは砂とも錆ともわからぬものに変わ にはデスノートだけが残された。
Wow.
そしてジェラスの命が助けられた娘に見合った寿命として与えられた。
How much? Is she immortal?
その子に恋してなければ死神は死ななかったってこと？
その通りだ。
じゃああの時私を助けてくれたのはジェラスって死神だったんだ。
そう。
Are you fucking kidding me? Misa's that girl?
そのノートはお前のものだ。
This show is too much.
そうか。死神殺すには人間に恋させて助けさせないとダメなんだ。レムはどう？私に恋しちゃったりしてない？
諦めな。お前に私。
Okay, Rem is not in love. Alright.
バレてた？でもこれでキラに教えてあげられる話がまたできたよ。知ってるのかな？死神の殺し方。テレビでも会ういい方法考えてくださいってちゃんと流してくれたのになかなか返事来ないの。
Dude, Misa is nuts.
こっちから何か言ってみようかな。
She is absolutely bonkers, dude. She is a risk factor for everyone.
第二のキラが致命的なヘマを犯し警察に捕まったりすればデスノートのことがバレる可能性がある。
Quick pause before, I don't know if this is the arranged meeting or just a chance encounter between Light Yagami and Misa, but it sounds like Rem told Misa about the existence of Ryuk, but Ryuk didn't tell Light Yagami about the existence of Rem and Misa. Again, the stark contrast and differences in their biases. Rem is so much more like blatantly biased and alliances with Misa, whereas Ryuk, again, he is this amoral bystander and he's only here to prolong his amusement, to eliminate his boredom. Such a different personalities and characteristics even among Shinigamis. Can we talk about the unfreaking believe reveal of Misa was that girl that Jerus was in love with and inherited the lifespan of Jerus? Like, will they reveal how much time Misa can live by inheriting the remaining lifespan of Jerus? Yeah, and is this the reason why Rem came to find Misa for the sake of Jerus? But why did Rem connect with Misa? Because I'm sure she's also in a way amused by it. Was she yearning to memorialize Rem's friends? Jerus sounds like they were close. The fact that they were both watching reality TV show of Human Realm together by stalking Misa because of Jerus' obsession and falling in love. So yeah, so many more questions.
だがどうする？エルに気づかれることなく第二のキラに接触。
Oh yeah, this is a chance encounter.
しました。
Misa is so bright, but Misa is also sociopathic. No remorse. Oh, great writing. Look at how jolly she looks. Another sociopath. Wow. Oh, wow. I cannot wait till episode 13 and 14. But shout out to the viewers who commented and messaged me pleading me to continue past episode 10. And I'm really glad I stayed because this is amazing. But I really do want to start a new show. But obviously, I will keep going for now because it is a masterpiece in every category. As always, I hope you enjoy my very, very long analysis and detailed reaction to Death Note episode 11 and 12. As always, if you enjoyed it, if you took away something refreshing and new from my insights and perspective, smash that thumbs up, share this episode. I know there's not that many sub reactions out there, and most of them are dub. So share this episode, help me, but also appease the Shinigamis of Death Note and Algorithm. So appreciate you tuning in every single week. And as always, I hope to catch you in the next video of Death Note. Until then, peace.